guys. I realize there's a lot of EVE players out there who have never even heard of the game called Second Galaxy, and I know there's a lot of players that won't even consider coming to play it because they're so invested in EVE. But for those who are interested in playing a game that is very, very similar to EVE and actually is modeled after EVE, I'd like to introduce you to this game. Second Galaxy has only been out for a few weeks. It is a mobile game that is also playable on the computer, which is where most people play it, is on the computer, for obvious reasons. Um, the game has a wide variety of ships, just like EVE Online does. It is in the early stages, so it's not as in-depth as EVE, obviously, but um, can't expect a mobile game to be as in-depth as EVE after only 3 weeks when EVE has had 16 years or more to develop. But anyways, right now what I'm doing, I'm here with my main account and my alt. We are running around in enemy territory trying to find some fights. So this is the sovereignty map, as you can see. So all these little systems, the tan area, are owned by the Chinese corporations. It's actually the largest Chinese corporation in the game, and I'm out here trying to pick some fights with them. So you can see all this area is owned by them. You zoom out, you can see all the other areas and where people have sovereignty. Just like EVE, 4900 systems, wormholes, all that sort of shit. The ships, pretty decent detail, not anything spectacular or crazy. They do get very shiny when you get to Tech 2 and Tech 3 versions. But anyways, let's see what we can find in this system. So we'll go back to the map here, go down to the system I'm in. And now we can see the planets and all that jazz. So on the function side here, we have raid. So I'm going to be hitting a raid button. It sends out a probe. You get a raid probe once every hour. You can store up to 24 of them. So you enter a system, you throw out a raid probe, and now I have scanned down these 3 things. And it's not always 3. It could be less. It could be more. So this guy is 1 system over in CXF3, doing a exploration site in whatever ship that is. I could go raid him, or I could go to this guy. He has some NPC minions of his that are out mining for him. It's not a high yield, but it is a little extracurricular activity you can do to try and gain some resources. And you can go raid that, and whenever you do, they get a indication saying, hey, your team's being raided, and they can go defend it. And then I kill them, and it's a lot of fun for me. Same thing with this guy. 7,100 minerals down here. That's probably where I'm going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to AA5 Solar System. What you can't see is this account on my other screen. It's not being recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and go there with her first. We'll see if we can get someone to bait into a fight. Doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you get multiple people jump in on you and it's a really good fight. Game's still in the early stages and I've got a really strong fit for this ship. That's why the modules are kind of blinked out right now. I'm going to be posting this to a public site. I don't really want everyone knowing what fit I'm running, so I'm keeping that information down to a minimum. So jump through the gate here. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, once this pops back up, I'll show you. You get wingmen, or recruits, that follow you around in space. You get 1 out at a time. Let's see. And they can provide a substantial boost in your DPS. So if you're flying out by yourself, you got your wingman with you. It can essentially double the damage you put out, and it's very, very useful. So that's one of the bigger differences, I guess. But it's not an overpowered thing. It's just kind of a nice perk to have. Keeps the game unique and interesting, in my opinion. Alright, so locking them down. What we got going on over here, I know it's very, it seems very iPhone game-ish, but you've got 3 weapon slots, 3 device slots, 2, 3, and a super device over here. Every time you use or activate a regular device, your super device charges, it becomes available. This ship itself gives 69% current shield temporarily and increases velocity 33%. It's very powerful. So this ship's build is built around charging up the super device as fast as possible, keeping it up for that temporary shield, and dwindling away at the opponent. There are a lot of different tactics. Some of the tactics have jump drives and things that you'll be familiar with. Area of effect damage. Some have weapon cooldowns and whatnot, but these super devices are all very unique to the ships and add an interesting level of gameplay and change that you don't get to experience in EVE. So I guess I could let you see what's going on here. So I'm killing the guys' recruits they just sent out on mining missions. My little recruits there. You can see that battleship there, just laying into them. And I'm hoping that someone will come defend, but as you can see, the local count is 2, which is me and myself at the moment. I'm in a very unpopulated system, mainly for the goal of showing you this video. Later on, I'll be going to very populated systems where I will definitely get fights, and I'll probably die, but it'll be great. The skill training is similar to EVE. You click on a skill, 1 through level 5, you train it up, you get a little bonus for it, and it leads to a later tier of training. The skill training does require materials, which you get from mining, like that guy was doing, or other numerous ways. And there are speed ups and time advances and all that stuff, but I'll say that there's no real pay to win in this game. Honestly, there's not. It's just like EVE. If someone's paid to win, you just go blow them up, and then they have nothing. So pay to win's not really an aspect. It's more of a pay for convenience. Some of the fees that you actually don't you don't need to pay anything, and you can do just fine. I promise you that. So if anyone's interested, feel free to contact me. If you got any questions about the game, if you're interested in checking it out, could really use some more EVE veteran players in this game to help dominate. That's something I would look forward to, is seeing you all in another game that's similar to EVE, but that has constant PvP action. And as you can see on my other videos, I've been getting PvP all day, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I don't have to wait for hours for something to happen. I just go into a system, and I get fights. It's simple, and it's a lot of fun. So hit me up. I'll see you guys a little bit later.